In today's news, UF tariffs to have effect on BVI electricity cost. BVI should tap into Caribbean market to deal with tariffs issue. BVIAA and HLSCC to sign MOU. MKS Law donates mental health resources. Rotan Beautification Plan Multi to be launched. And BVI Film Commission wraps up an inspiring pilot program. New threat to the U.S. Port Service fee to be looked into. We have the details of this and much more when 284 News returns.
That's just not cricket.
No sweat, you're with CG.
Remember my street dance battle against Seamus O'Leapsy? I went on to win the title of Miss Irish-ish, set to perform at nursing homes around the world. Then this happened. Seamus on you, Seamus.
Anyway, I was covered. Let's bounce.
Comprehensive motor cover for damage and more. CG Insurance. Good like that.
Just give me my service. Yeah. Just give me my service. Just give me my service.
Make the switch to CCT and get connected today. Unlimited talk, text, and data. Visit any CCT store or call us at 444-4444. CCT, Life Unlimited.
Hello everyone and welcome to this edition of 284 News. It is Tuesday, April 8th, 2025. I'm Ron Grant, bringing you all the very latest out of Tortola in the Virgin Islands. A happy Tuesday is wished to all. Thank you so much for joining us. Beginning our newscast, the BVI Electricity Corporation, BVIAA, says the recent tariffs announced by the U.S. President Donald Trump could have an effect on the cost of electricity here in the BVI. During a BVIAA press conference last week, General Manager Dr. Neil Smith said they expect the cost to be higher because their fuel is sourced from the United States.
Well, if it affects the fuel price, we get fuel from mostly Texas, though, so it might affect us. Yes, I mean, I don't know what Trump is up to. What I can say from my previous life is that it will, it's going to cause some international trade stress that ultimately would affect us in the BVI. The price is not going to go down. The price is not going up for all commodities. Once we source enough in the United States, if we source enough for someplace else, then it might not affect us so much. But I know that we get the large majority of our trade is done through the United States, by United States sourced products. So you can expect that there will be a follow-on effect on us.
A local businessman believes it is time the BVI taps into the Caribbean market and also produce local food because of the U.S. tariffs. In an interview carried by ZBVI Radio, Managing Director of Clarence Thomas Limited, CTL, Mr. Michael Thomas, called on the government to utilize local farmers through the use of greenhouse technology in the planting of staple crops. Thomas explained that the BVI and the rest of the region will be impacted significantly by the recent tariffs implemented by the U.S. President Donald Trump, and efforts must be made to produce as much crops as possible. Thomas says Caribbean countries produce a lot of food, and the BVI needs to develop a partnership with these countries to get produce brought directly to the BVI.
What I would encourage the government of the day to do, right? The Caribbean has a lot of food. Most of our imports come from the United States. The Caribbean, I know CARICOM is sitting there, but we need to figure out some type of an alliance with all the Caribbean countries from Guyana right back up the chain, and start basically bringing in critical food products that's available in the region, that's grown in the region, bringing it back into the island. And then what I would suggest also too, and Honorable Hodges is sold. I think he had the right idea with the greenhouses up in Paraquita Bay. But I think we need to start producing some staple crops in the islands: tomatoes, lettuce, cucumbers. Find 10 or 15 crops that we can produce in a greenhouse setting, and produce as much as you possibly can here locally. Put your people to work, and then put that product back in the marketplace and lessen your dependence on outside for this product. Because if Hurricane Maria and the pandemic taught us nothing, it's that we're kind of like on our own out here. America will protect America, and they have every right to do so, as we should be protecting ourselves on this level. And when things go sideways, they will protect themselves first, right? I remember during the pandemic, and this is no joke, I had about $30,000 in face masks ordered when we recognized what was really going to happen, and they canceled every order and wouldn't ship anything out of the U.S. So I tell them the region has a lot of product that we can use, and we're friends with every Caribbean island. We should be pulling more product, produce, food, beef, pork, what have you, whatever we can produce locally, we need to start sourcing it through the Caribbean and start utilizing our Caribbean neighbors more. I think, that alliance in the Caribbean needs to be formed where more food is grown through the region and basically, spread throughout the region, as opposed to having that reliance on the United States to get product out to the U.S.
Caribbean tourism officials are urging the U.S. government to exempt the region from proposed port service fees targeting Chinese-made or flagged vessels, warning the measures could significantly harm an industry vital to both economies. The Caribbean Hotel and Tourism Association submitted recommendations to the U.S. Trade Representative regarding the proposed fees of up to $1.5 million per port call for Chinese-made or flagged vessels, according to a statement released on Monday. The organization warned the fees would increase import costs for both land and cruise travelers, potentially reducing traveler demand and spending throughout the Caribbean. In its submission, the CHTA aligned with the CARICOM private sector organization to request exemptions for 27 Caribbean territories, including popular destinations like the Bahamas, Jamaica, and the Dominican Republic. U.S. territories, Puerto Rico, and the U.S. Virgin Islands would also be excluded in the exemption. The association provided economic data highlighting the interconnected nature of U.S. Caribbean tourism. Now, according to the World Travel and Tourism Council, tourism contributes an estimated $91.2 billion to Caribbean economies. That was in 2024 and generated over $2.9 million in jobs. Now, the region officially welcomed more than 68 million visitors last year, split evenly between cruise ships and hotel stays. CHTA emphasized that the U.S., particularly Florida, would feel significant economic impacts from the proposed fees. Most Caribbean-bound cruise visitors originate from Florida, and cruise ships are provisioned through Florida-based suppliers as well as shippers. The CARICOM private sector organization estimates each stayover visitor to the Caribbean contributes approximately $944 towards incremental U.S. imports, which amounts to about $6.2 billion in U.S. exports to CARICOM countries in 2023. Cruise visitors contribute an estimate of $23 each, totaling approximately $0.3 billion in U.S. exports. Now, while acknowledging the U.S. government's intention to expand the use of American-built cargo vessels, the CHTA warned of unintended consequences, noting that U.S. and Caribbean-owned shipping companies would struggle to quickly transition away Chinese-built vessels. Up next, we have much more coming up. We'll be right back after a quick commercial break.
Hello, and welcome to today's episode of Pop the Balloon or Find the Connection. Let's meet our first contender, ladies. Okay, Joey, so do you have any toxic traits?
I'm very restrictive. I don't give more time. What you get is what you get. I don't like to give unlimited time. That's it.
Okay, can you tell us why you popped your balloon?
That's a little too restricted for me.
Thank you for coming. Okay, ladies, so let's meet our second contender.
Sorry, excuse me. Why did you pop a balloon? I could give you minutes, data, unlimited call, overseas call, fiber. What else you need?
My friend used to date you. You are scam. She used to be for everything and more. Nothing to offer.
Okay, ladies, let's welcome our last contender. You look nice. Can you tell us your name?
Thank you. My name is Christian Charles Thomas. They call me C Sweetie.
What do you have to offer these ladies?
Well, security, trust, unlimited time, and I pretty fast.
Okay, so do you have any deal breakers?
Nah, but here's my number. 444-4444. Y tú, vida ilimitada.
Okay, guys, so no pop balloons.
For a fast, reliable, and secure connection for your personal or business life, call us at 444-4444 or visit any of our CCT stores and we'll get you connected with the perfect match for you.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you all so much for sticking with us. Moving right along, a Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, is expected to be signed between, soon, the BVI Airports Authority, AA, and the HLSCC Community College, HLSCC. Now, this MOU will seek to build local capacity. To the BVIAA, Managing Director at the BVIAA, during an interview with ZBVI, stated that this MOU will meet their goal.
The idea actually came between Dr. Georges and myself. We recognize that there's a lack of capacity in certain technical areas at the airport, especially in terms of being able to access the locals who are qualified to do it. So we saw the college as a great breeding ground for what we're looking. So the two areas in particular we're looking at automotive engineering and electronics engineering. So the way we set it up is through an established internship program that the college actually has ongoing already. So we'll tap into that. And we essentially get second-year students, 2 second-year students, and we provide a scholarship for them throughout that second year. They would have to maintain their grades and all of that, and they would work at the airport periodically during that period. At the end of their studies, once they're successful, we would take them on at the airport full-time. The key component is that, or the key factor and benefit is that they must be local, because we want to build that local capacity. And of course, to address the needs that currently exist at the airport. What we would see is long-term building that capacity locally, and of course, cost savings for the airport, because we would normally have to outsource those areas. Also, as part of the MOU, we're going to broaden it where the college will offer programs, discounts, etc., partnerships with the Airports Authority for general staff development, consultancy, etc.
Meantime, Mr. Kurt Minnell stated that enhancements at the airport are continuing and the free parking is just temporary.
So what you will see by the end of this month is that we will have a new system in place. As we have a regulatory requirement where we're required to reroute the traffic in front of the terminal. So that's why you'd see all of that work going on. At the same time, we upgrading the parking system. So we have brought in new pay-on-foot machines. We'll be putting in new arms. We widen in certain areas of the road to accommodate that rerouting. At some point, we'd have to put in a canopy and everything at the front there. And all of that should be implemented, minus the canopy, of course. All of that should be implemented by the end of April. We have a few other projects ongoing, because we have a number of them going on right now as we look to enhance. We expanded the departures to an extent. We added capacity in there with more seating. And we have an ongoing project inside of the arrivals where we're going to expand customs, put in a new baggage belt. Because if you are a regular traveler, you will notice that our belt is way outdated. So we, in the process of changing over that belt, putting in a larger, more modern belt, and also doing some refurbishment inside customs and immigration to improve that level of service to the customer and to the staff who operate in there.
The BVI Health Services Authority, Community Mental Health and Substance Abuse Services, say they are pleased to acknowledge the generous contribution of essential mental health resources from MKS Law, formerly known as Martin Kenny & Co. The donation supports the completion of Mindful Rooms initiative and extension of the ongoing Mindful campaign targeted specifically at promoting mental wellness across schools within the Virgin Islands. MKS Law, a premier asset recovery and commercial litigation practice headquartered in the Virgin Islands, is internationally recognized as one of the world's leading law firms in asset tracing and recovery. Founded by renowned attorney Martin Kenny, the firm is known not only for its tenacious legal strategies and global reach, but also for its long-standing commitment to ethical advocacy and community upliftment. Commenting on the firm's involvement, Martin Kenny, founding partner at MKS Law, stated, and I quote, "At MKS Law, we believe in supporting the communities that support us. Mental health is an essential pillar of a thriving society, and we are particularly proud to invest in the wellness of our youth and well-being of others, including future legal minds and leaders within these Virgin Islands." The resources provided by MKS Law includes age-appropriate books, games, visual aids, and therapeutic tools that will be integrated into school counseling and wellness programs to encourage resilience, emotional intelligence, and open dialogue around mental health among students. Dr. Virginia Rubain, director of the COMHSA, Community Mental Health Association, shared her appreciation for this generous contribution and encouraged more partners to come forward, stating, and I quote, "We are deeply grateful to MKS Law for their generous support of our Mindful Rooms initiative. Their donation will help empower our students with the tools and language to explore their emotional well-being in safe, supportive spaces." With this show of their commitment to holistic health and community empowerment, MKS Law joins our growing ranks of donors to this campaign, which includes Unite BVI and Harneves. We encourage like-minded corporate citizens and private entities to partner with us. Together, we can cultivate a future, they said, where mental health is understood, supported, and prioritized at every stage of life. Viewers, for more information about the Community Mental Health Services Association, mental health initiatives, or to discover ways you or your organization can contribute, contact 541-2383. We have much more coming up after this commercial break.
At Higher BVI, we're not just about business. We're about empowering lives, and that is because we aspire to inspire. By choosing us, you're supporting a company that believes in equal opportunities, diversity, and community growth. Our mission goes beyond profit. It's about providing HR solutions, fostering talent, and leaving a positive impact. Join us in building a better future, a better BVI. Choose Higher BVI, where your support isn't just a transaction, it's a transformation. Together, we're changing lives in these beautiful Virgin Islands.
Start the year off with more. More speed, more downloading, more savings, and more FIA. CCT FIA Fiber Internet gives you the speed you need to keep the whole family connected. Packages starting at $119 with speeds from 300 megabytes per second, super fast, unlimited downloads, even more reliable connectivity, plus free live streaming TV for the family to enjoy. Sign up for the absolute best fiber internet service in the BVI CCT FIA and pay no installation fee. Plus, get CCT Live TV for free. You deserve more. Get more with CCT. Life Unlimited.
Welcome back, everyone, and thank you all so much for sticking with us. The government has launched a new public-private initiative aimed at beautifying and maintaining the Road Town area as part of a broader strategy to enhance tourism as well as the quality of life for residents. Junior Minister of Culture and Tourism, the Honorable Luce Hod-Smith, and 4th District Representative announced the Road Town Partnership during a ceremony attended by representatives from the various government departments, business organizations, as well as civic society groups.
It is with great enthusiasm that we gather here today to launch the Road Town Partnership, a program aimed at beautifying and maintaining the cleanliness of our beloved capital, Road Town. This initiative is not just a project, but a movement that underscores the importance of clean and beautiful surroundings for tourism, for the everyday health and well-being of our citizens, and the prosperity of our businesses. Tourism is the lifeblood of our territory. Visitors come from near, they come from far, drawn by our stunning landscapes, our rich culture, and the warmth of our people. A clean and picturesque environment is vital to making their experience memorable and inviting them to return. Exquisite surroundings are more than just visually appealing. They reflect the pride we take in our community and the respect we have for our natural beauty.
The partnership brings together officials from Public Works, Solid Waste, the City Manager's Office, the BVI Tourist Board, and Town and Country Planning Department, alongside the BVI Chamber of Commerce and various civil society organizations.
This partnership involves the representatives from various government departments, which you've heard listed by the Honorable Premier earlier, and of course the private sector, which also has been listed, and several other stakeholders. By bringing together experts from multiple disciplines, we leverage collective knowledge and resources to ensure the success of our initiatives. This collaborative approach to develop planning is crucial for creating a coherent and sustainable vision for Rotown, our capital. We have been traversing the Rotown area, the RDA. They have been doing that from when we made contact with the RDA. They went out and started to have some initial contact with the businesses. And a number of the businesses that they've contacted has already expressed interest and are willing to support our efforts. And this is a good sign because I appreciate and recognize their patriotic spirit, and I thank them for their support thus far. Furthermore, it is essential to involve the people in having a say in how the capital looks. Public participation ensures that the plans reflects the needs and desires of our community.
The program aims to create a collaborative approach to development planning that officials say is crucial in creating a sustainable vision for Rotown. Public participation in forms of a key component in order to make the initiative successful.
But the benefits of a clean and beautiful environment extend beyond tourism. They touch every aspect of our lives. Cleanliness is a cornerstone of public health, reducing the spread of disease and ensuring that our citizens live in a healthy and safe environment. It contributes to our mental well-being, fostering a sense of peace and satisfaction. For our businesses, a pristine setting attracts customers, enhances the shopping, dining, and sightseeing experience, and boosts economic activity. It is clear that clean and beautiful surroundings should be everyone's concern. This is not solely the responsibility of government or the sanitation workers. It is a collective duty. Each one of us has a role to play, from individuals picking up litter and to businesses ensuring their premises are well maintained. The transformation we seek will only be possible through the concerted efforts of all members of our community.
Her statement concluded with a call to action for all residents to become involved in maintaining cleanliness throughout the territory.
Today, I issue a call to action to everyone to become involved in keeping not just our capital clean and tidy and organized, and not just Rotown, but the entire territory. Let us commit to a standard of excellence that will set us apart, not only as a tourist destination, but as a community that values and protects its environment.
The BVI Film Commission is proud, they say, to announce the successful completion of their inaugural Future Filmmakers Academy, a dynamic 5-day pilot program designed to offer students a hands-on immersive introduction to the world of film and digital media. The response to the program was overwhelming, with registration closing just 2 days after launch due to a very high demand. The Academy capped participation at 22 students, and that target was quickly met, demonstrating the keen interest from parents as well as youth alike for opportunities within the film education arena. They said, and I quote, "We are thrilled with the enthusiastic response to the pilot program." Ms. Natalie Hodge, BVI Film Commissioner added, "Our young people are creative, curious, and incredibly talented. The Future Filmmakers Academy is just the beginning. With help and support of our partners, we are committed to providing even more opportunities to help them grow, thrive, and shape the future of the Virgin Islands film industry." The Academy ran from 31st of March to 4th of April 2025 and featured interactive sessions on filmmaking fundamentals led by Dane Peters, animation basics led by Ms. Nadia Turnbull, and safe and smart social media use facilitated by Nikita Turnbull. Students rotated between Seagrape Studios and HLSCC, engaging in both hands-on learning as well as collaborative group work. The program concluded with a student showcase at HLSCC's Green Room, attended by parents, sponsors, as well as representatives from the BVI Tourist Board and Film Commission, as well as the Ministry of Tourism, Culture, and Sustainable Development, and other special guests. We are truly grateful to our sponsors and supporters, namely HM Governor's Office, Republic Bank, and RTW, who helped make this module possible. Their investment in the potential of our youth is invaluable. With continued sponsorship, we are hopeful to host another module later this year, expanding on what we've started and offering even more advanced training and exposure to the world of film, said Ms. Natalie Hodge, Film Commissioner. Highlights of the showcase include a rapid-fire Q&A on filmmaking concepts, sound demonstrations using everyday objects, and group short film presentations, with students taking on roles such as director, writer, camera, operator, as well as actor. Certificates of completion were awarded by the Film Commission to all students, along with prizes for most outstanding behavior, most improved, and early bird. Viewers, that is it for today's news roundup. Be sure to follow us for your daily news updates at Tweet4Media and Tweet4BVI on Instagram and X, formerly Twitter. I'm Ron Grant. Do have a safe and enjoyable evening. Be sure to follow us on our WhatsApp channel for daily updates. Happy Tuesday. Goodbye.
Father Jesus, that line you long like church service.
Alright, do enjoy the rest of the day. Next customer line, please. Wait, hold on a second.
Yes, Sonny boy, come, yes,
Good
Sonny.
morning.
Good morning, Sonny boy. Hold on there. You must have cut fun topic.
It's okay, I'll take care of it.
What? No man to take care of me.
How may I assist you?
Yes.
You want top of power?
You want top of power?
Join the prepaid party with CCT and enjoy more affordable data plans, more top-up promotions, more savings with hero bundles, and more value for your money each and every Tuesday with Top Up Turn Up Tuesday. Visit a CCT store today or anywhere CCT Top Up is sold and top up your phone.
5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. You want top of power?